Hello YouTube. I just had to do a video and it might be a little controversial, but I just want people's opinions out there. Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. The last video I did, I was like that was going to be my last video because y'all don't talk to me enough. But this one, I know this going to make everybody talk. It's going to make everybody talk. First of all, happy Juneteenth. Tomorrow is Juneteenth. In case of y'all don't know what Juneteenth is, it is when African Americans, we were no longer slaves in 1865, I believe is the year. Yes, and that was our day of freedom. A lot of slaves did not know that they were free because they did not have telephones, they did not have social media or any of that stature. So it was word of mouth. So it literally took a year and a half for everybody to know that they was free. So that is what Juneteenth is tomorrow. I need to go grocery shopping and handle a few things. So yeah, I'm just going to dive into the topic. So I wanted to talk about proposals and engagements. And I just wanted to talk about it because, I'm at that age where I'm like, being a girlfriend is just sounds really juvenile. We've all been there, done that. And I'm looking for my life partner. And I realized in my last relationships that my standards were very low. And those are not the characteristics that I want to spend the rest of my life with. I think a lot of marriages end in divorce because people are not willing to put up with the nonsense. Some people might say, oh, back in the days, women were less educated. They had less support. Women couldn't even get a credit card until the 60s, the late 60s. So you had no choice for most women to depend on a man. Now, my grandmother was a revolutionary and she was married, but she left her husband and she got a house with her sisters. And she raised my uncle and my mom because she did not want to be with him. And you had a few women back then that were not married. Not everybody was married. But I wanted to talk about Ashanti and Nelly. I just had to talk about it because I feel like it's a very common thing. And why not talk about it, right? So Ashanti, I don't know if y'all remember, but the time, I need y'all to pay attention to the timeline. Nelly got with Ashanti when she was at the height of her career. When she came out with her first album, Foolish, right? And that was her hit, and she was just like an overnight sensation. He got with her when she was at the very, very height of her career. And when he broke up with her, that's when her career started to dwindle. I don't know if y'all paid attention, but they had a big thing with Murder Inc. and they had a big thing going on. And she went through a lot. And I have a lot of respect for Ashanti because it wasn't until the Irv Gotti interview with Angie Martinez. It wasn't until that interview that I realized, wow, she's a really strong woman because she went through a lot of adversity in her career because of him. And she came right back on top. But it took a long time. So when her career started to dwindle many years ago, that's when they broke up. Now, they were off and on for 10 years. I didn't know that. I didn't even know that they were together until they broke up. So when they broke up, there was this big rumor that she was messing with Keisha Cole's man. And they even did a song together. And the man in the common denominator was Chink Santana. If you don't know who Chink Santana is, he was in the video I Should Have Cheated with Keisha Cole. And he also was on Love and Hip Hop, New York, I believe. And he was dating a white woman named Prissy. So he is still married after all these years. And too bad for Chrissy because Chrissy wanted something serious and he did not. He still want to be married and stuff like that. So all them years he's been married, stayed married, and he not leaving. So To my knowledge, Nelly broke up with her because of that. Like, that was like all over the media. It was embarrassing. So he broke up with her for that, and I'm sure he did some stuff too. And to each their own about getting back with somebody with the off and on thing. I just feel like when it comes to certain characteristic traits, you cannot overlook, like, if a person's selfish, if a person is a drinker or a smoker. I feel like if a person is a cheater, depending on the level of cheating, because it does matter. And I say level of cheating because to me it does matter. Like, if you telling people that you don't want to be with me and you trying to get rid of me and you're denying me to people, and then they have receipts to prove this, there's nothing to discuss. We don't need to be together. But if it's like you tell a girl we together and she's the one pushing, and maybe you just had a weak moment, that's something different. We can work it out. So whatever issues they had, I think she got with him out of loneliness, and it happens to the best of us. And I hope I'm never that lonely where I'm just gonna take back a nigga that I was off and on with. Like, off and on is just the we've all been in off and on relationships, and those relationships are the most toxic. They are. So yeah, everybody's like, congrats. I just hope that she's really happy, and I hope that he changed, because if he didn't, that will just be the worst, because they old as hell now. Like, and then that's my other thing. Like, as a man, why are you 49 just now putting a ring on somebody's finger? You know what I'm saying? Like, 50 years old, you realize you want to be with somebody forever. Like, I don't get it. And then my other suspicion is they was off and on for 10 years. Why she never got pregnant back then? And then why is it that when she was going through, I feel like a relationship or your mate, your husband, should be there for you in your darkest hour. He was not there. Like, when she was going through her career went down into shambles, to the point that she started doing stage plays. Like, that's how she went from movies to stage plays. Irv Gotti, like, blacklisted her. She went through a lot, and Nelly was not by her side, ladies and gentlemen. He was not, right? So we didn't hear from Ashanti. Remember, we didn't hear from her for a long time. And I don't know if y'all remember, but pre-pandemic, I remember I wanted to go to a concert, but then they canceled it because they couldn't sell tickets. Like, people weren't buying the tickets, allegedly, apparently. And 50 Cent even made fun of Ja Rule and Ashanti at one point. Like, oh, I'll buy the whole roll. I don't know if y'all remember that. But he was like, oh, I'll buy the roll since ain't nobody buying it. He was really mean. And so COVID happened. And then after COVID, she been doing all right. Like, she was at the Lil' Kim show at the Apollo. Like, what was it? Last year. Yes, last year. Yes, last January. She was at the Apollo. And she was good. She was. And so next thing we know, she's doing her tour. She's doing wonderful. Next thing you know, she's back with Nelly. So why is it that he's there for her highest moments, but he's not there for her lows, And also, she did an interview, and that's another suspicious circumstance. She's pregnant, and now they're engaged. Why does it, for some men, and this is for my fellas, why does somebody got to be pregnant with y'all baby for y'all to figure out, oh, yeah, I'm a wife her up? Like, that's my whole thing with him. Like, what if she wasn't pregnant? Like, I'm really wondering, what if she wasn't pregnant? She said, and this is so unromantic, they were in his living room or wherever, they was in his house, on the couch, watching TV. She was in his t-shirt, and he proposes. Like, he could have did way better than that. Like, there's no fucking way. Like, she deserves so much more. And I feel like us as black women, we just, like, We accept bare minimum. And when we want more, it's like, oh, we gold diggers, we this and that. I'd rather be considered a gold digger than to be desperate, because there's no fucking way that you done fucked up, and or let's say we both fucked up and we getting back together, and then you want to propose to me in the fucking house. Like, he could have did way better than that. I'm sorry, he could have did way better than that. Like, come on, he could have did way better than that. Like, at a dinner, birthday party, be creative. Call her friends, do a surprise, call her mama, put her mama into it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he could have did it way better. But I'm not jealous, I'm not hating, I'm just saying, if I was in that predicament, it's like, bruh, you came to me. And she said it. He sought her out. Joe and Ja Rule, they kind of put it together. But they got his number, whatever, and yeah. And it was funny because I remember when I was doing security during the pandemic, 21, and the rumors was flying. I don't know if y'all remember, like, oh, Nelly and Ashanti getting back together. And a lot of people was in denial, like, she got a man, da-da-da-da. Next thing we know, the rumors is true. They really are. The following year, oh, they really are together. She confirmed it, So I just want to know y'all thoughts, ladies. What are y'all thoughts? To each their own. I know for me, it's like, come on, dude. And Nelly is actually lucky. Somebody put that up, that you let a girl go for 10 years. Luckily, she was single and you got her, and now you got her for good. Seems like. But I want to know y'all thoughts, comments, whatever. What y'all think about this Nelly Ashanti thing? I think it's just very weird that she's doing so well, and so he want to creep up into her life. Like, he about to retire? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think her net worth is probably a little bit more than his. Like, she's obviously more popular than him right now. He's doing a tour with Janet Jackson, which is cool, but I don't think anybody's going to see Nelly. We're going to see Janet, right? So what's y'all opinion about the proposal, engagement, the pregnancy, what y'all think? Ladies, how would you want it? If you're 43 years old and this is your love from your 20s, how would you want him to propose? What would you want? Would you want it? Also, ladies, would you want somebody to propose to you when you're pregnant? Just because you're having their baby? She's like, oh, she felt it would come soon, but not that soon. She even admitted it, like, she didn't think it would be that soon or whatever, and she doesn't want to get married while pregnant because, the wedding and stuff. But ladies, let me know, how would y'all feel in the circumstance? Nelly and Ashanti. And those are my thoughts.